Hello, YouTube Nation, and welcome back for yet another episode of Worth It or Not Worth It. Today, we're going to dive into some of the holy grails and just hard to get action figures from franchises in the 80s and 90s. Today, we're looking at Gobots, Transformers, Mask, Thundercats, and G.I. Joe. All of the favorites from when we were kids, and some of these toys we may not have ever had, but these are grails to me and hard to find toys. So, worth it or not, let's look at number one. Coming in at number one, a big dog. One of G.I. Joe and, honestly, all of toys' holy grails, the Defiant from G.I. Joe toy line. The big spaceship that was huge and massive and took up all the space in the world. But you want to talk about a playset for kids. The USS Flag was phenomenal. This thing was even bigger and better. Boy, does it hold a hefty price. Back in the day, it was $199 to get it off the shelf. Today, we're looking at 4 digits to get this puppy complete, easy. Parting this thing out is almost impossible. But for me, playability, it is one of the greatest playabilities and one of the best toys there possibly could be. It came with 2 figures. You get all the play stuff. I lied, it was $119. Thought it was a little bit more. But I don't know, leave it in the comments. G.I. Joe the Defiant, worth it or not worth it? Let's look at these eBay prices. All right, coming in at number 2, we go to one of my favorite toy franchises of all time. We're going to Mask. The Mask Crusaders working overtime fighting crime, but they had a big play set called Boulder Hill. And for the Mask toys, in my opinion, they are one of the greatest toy lines for playability ever that existed. This one has nothing but high reviews from me. I've owned several of them throughout the years. One of the coolest ones I ever saw is somebody built a diorama of a mountain behind it, and it looked perfect. It looked great, just like in the cartoons, in the comic books, and everything else. Leave it be that there's not too many people who have boulders or mountains sitting in their backyard, so you had to kind of pretend, but that was part of the 80s nostalgia, is pretend and play. This toy is hard to piece out, hard to find in really good shape, as it does do a lot of shadings and discolorations, but coming in at these prices, worth it or not worth it for you? Leave it in the comments. All right, coming in at number 3, we're going to go in for a Transformer toy. One of the worst Transformer ideas that there possibly is as an actual evil robot, if you will. But what a cool toy, and what a way to solidify its era in the 80s with this camera. 3 robots combining into a camera. It's awesome. There is nothing not awesome about this. For me, I never owned it as a kid. I believe it was a mail away. I did not own it until later on in life when they did a knockoff version of it. I have since purchased a G1 complete one, and it's awesome. Don't think it ever came in a box like that. I think that's a reissue, but some of these prices that come in are pretty high. But for you, is it worth it or not worth it? Leave it in the comments below. And what do you think about knockoffs? Leave that in the comments below as well. All right, coming in at number 4, we're going to the world of Thundercats. For me, a lot of these later Thundercats are weird, but I really do love them. So, Astral Moat Monster. Pretty cool. Here's a problem with that toy. If I saw that in a bucket, I probably wouldn't realize what it's from. I would realize it's probably an 80s toy and probably rare because I just have never seen that many of them. But for me, is it worth it? There's a lot of Thundercats that just aren't worth it to me because of their playability. This guy looks cool, but for the price that you're going to pay on this, I would rather buy a couple of the figures who actually had a lot of cartoon time and playability for them. Here's some of the eBay prices that these are going for, and some of those aren't even complete. Some of them are, but I mean, man, they're astronomical. But what would you do? Is it worth it or not worth it for this Thundercat toy? Coming up at number 5 on this week's list of our worth it or nots, we're going to go Gobots. I think this one's going to be a little weird to talk about, but we are going to go about an aircraft that was very popular. We're going to go Skyjack, and it's an F-14 Tomcat. So back in these days, Maverick, Top Gun, everything is really astronomically popular with airplanes, especially that F-14 fighter. This is one of the rarer Gobots that you can find. Now, saying that, Gobots shouldn't and aren't that expensive to get. There's just not that much collectability for them, except for the major characters. Some of these lesser-known characters, even though their print run or their runs are not that big, you can see here some people are asking in the hundreds and mid-hundreds for them, but they can sell for low as $25, and they can go for as high as $100 on some of these things. But to complete your Gobot collection, you've definitely got to get some of these, and they are fantastic, and it's really hard to keep his canopy in order for the Gobots. So what do you think? Worth it or not worth it for Skyjack the Gobot? Leave it in the comments below. All right, thanks for tuning into this episode of Worth It or Not Worth It. We looked at a lot of different items. Maybe some of these characters you knew, some of them you didn't know. Are they in your collection? Leave me a comment. If you like this kind of thing, don't mind hitting the thumbs up button, subscribing it, or telling fellow geeks about this, because we're trying to grow the channel into something fun for the whole collecting community. But until next time, peace out, home skillets.